Hello and welcome to the Unconventional Ministry Podcast. I'm Dennis Wiens, your host, the Senior Impact Catalyst at SAT7 USA. Whether you're tuning in for the first time or you're a regular listener, I'm thrilled to have you join us today. This podcast is dedicated to exploring innovative and creative ways to do ministry, out-of-the-box ways to live your faith in your community. The Unconventional Ministry Podcast might be just what you've been looking for. Maybe you're stuck in your ministry or your faith journey, or perhaps you're curious about different ways to serve and impact your community and beyond. If that sounds like you, you're in the right place, because each week we have a different episode, a new innovative creative ministry model, and you can look back through the 100 and some episodes for a wide variety of ministries, innovative ideas, very creative guests that have come and explained their unconventional ministry approach. So look back through the other episodes of the Unconventional Ministry Podcast. You might be thinking about what makes this podcast unique and how it can add value to your ministry. Let me share some reasons why you should be listening to the Unconventional Ministry Podcast. I think probably the first reason is discovering inspiring stories. Each episode features stories from individuals just like you who have ventured into a realm of solving a need they have experienced and coming up with an unconventional way of ministry to bring a solution and bring change. We talk to people who are using their unique gifts and passions in surprising ways, from coffee shop evangelists to tech-savvy missionaries, from artists who convey the gospel through creatively done programs to entrepreneurs blending business acumen with mission work. These stories aren't just inspiring, they're also eye-opening. They show that ministry can happen anywhere and that you can make a difference no matter your vocation or your location. One of the best things about the Unconventional Ministry Podcast is the stories we share. We bring you real-life testimonies from people who have stepped out in faith and done something different. Alongside these stories, we offer practical tips and advice on how you can start your own unconventional ministry. From leveraging social media to connect with people, to finding creative ways to serve your community, we provide actionable steps to help you get started on your journey to this unconventional ministry to solve your community's problem. As I think about the Unconventional Ministry Podcast, I think a second reason to listen is that you gain practical insights and tools. But this podcast isn't just about the story. It's about giving you insights you need to get started or to enhance your own ministry. We discuss practical strategies for engaging with your community, leveraging technology for faith-based initiatives, and overcoming common challenges faced by those trying to do something differently. I think another reason for you to listen to this podcast is that we challenge your perceptions. Sometimes we all need a little push to think outside the box. The Unconventional Ministry Podcast invites you to challenge your perceptions about what ministry looks like. It encourages you to ask questions, to rethink traditional models, and to consider new possibilities for living out your faith in today's world. By tuning in, you'll be encouraged to think creatively and to question whether there might be a different, perhaps more effective way for you to contribute. Our listeners are diverse from all walks of life, from all corners of the globe, but they share a common desire to impact the world in unconventional ways. The Unconventional Ministry Podcast is a place to grow, to be encouraged, and to be inspired by others. We believe that there's no one-size-fits-all approach to ministry. That's why we bring you a variety of voices and perspectives on this podcast. You'll hear from pastors, missionaries, community leaders, and everyday people who are making a difference in unique and unexpected ways. This diversity of voices will challenge and broaden your understanding of what ministry looks like. So if you're ready to explore how your unique talent and interest can intersect with your faith in unexpected ways, then this is the podcast for you. You'll leave each episode feeling inspired and equipped to make a real impact. Now, you might be thinking, I'm not a pastor or a missionary. Can this podcast really benefit me? The answer is a resounding yes. Ministry isn't just for the professionals. It's for everyone. Whether you're a stay-at-home parent, a student, a business owner, or anyone in between, you have a sphere of influence and the potential to make a difference right where you are. Listening to this Unconventional Ministry podcast will help you. First of all, it will deepen your faith. Hearing stories of faith in action and learning practical ways to live out your beliefs will help you grow spiritually. Secondly, it will help you discover your calling. You might discover a new passion, a new calling that you never knew about. Who knows? You might be the next guest on our show sharing your own unconventional ministry journey. And thirdly, joining this podcast will connect you with like-minded individuals. Thank you for joining us today. Don't forget to subscribe to the Unconventional Ministry podcast to stay up to date on all of our latest episodes. We have so much more to share, and we can't wait to see how you'll join us in this journey of unconventional ministry. Until next time, keep breaking molds and pushing boundaries. See you on the next podcast episode. In our changing world, there are more ways than ever to do ministry. Sat7 as a broadcast media ministry is changing how ministry is done. Through innovative approaches, collaborative efforts, broadcast satellite television, web streaming, and social media, Sat7 is making a difference. Visit Sat7 online today at sat7usa.org to learn ways you can be a part of this kingdom work. If you've enjoyed this conversation, please share it with your friends. If you know of an unconventional ministry approach, please introduce us. We'd like to have them on as guests. Thank you again for joining this episode of the Unconventional Ministry Podcast.